Until Carrol Boys came along, most people's idea of pewter was an engraved beer mug hanging up in someone's bar. Today, 2 decades on, her brand of pewter homeware has become recognized the world over for its class and artistry. And ironically, she now also does trophies.
For 20 years, the name Carrol Boys has become synonymous with functional art. Her home is not only where she dreams up new designs, it houses a series of collections grouped for maximum visual impact.
This is incredible. I've got to say that my first impression is I'm stepping into an art gallery.
Thank you very much. I just enjoy having beautiful things around me. It feeds my soul.
This reminds me of my first Smurf collection, just a little more sophisticated.
These are actually catapults. I don't know if you can see that. To me, that's the ultimate functional art.
Her home is a league of nations with bright figures flying their national colours in ceramics and wood.
We're really starting to see an African theme.
Indeed. These ones over here are West African headrests, and you can see how amazing and sculptural they are. I don't know how comfortable they are, but they're certainly very beautiful. Norman Catherine is one of my favorite South African sculptors. I really like his unusual, wacky pieces. Hilton Nell is also a fantastic South African ceramist.
Carrol is an artist, designer, entrepreneur, role model and businesswoman who's succeeding around the world. Her home is an architectural extension of her creative spirit.
I wanted to mix different materials, to have wonderful wood finishes, to bring in the metal that I enjoy working with, to in fact have some concrete as well, as you can see on the walls and the floor, but to have a complete sense of openness. That was important. And then somewhere to house my art collection.
It seems your creative tendencies extend beyond just your art pieces. You had a hand in the architecture as well.
I drove my architect completely crazy. In fact, he was the 8th architect. 8th. I'm embarrassed to tell you that. But the space, it's where I find my peace, my inspiration and my creativity. So it was very important for me for it to be absolutely perfect.
She shares the house and studio with prominent South African ceramicist Barbara Jackson, who's recognised internationally for her distinctive use of colour and form. It's often in the early hours of the day that Carrol's thoughts take shape.
This is where all my dreams become reality. On a Saturday morning, this is where I come and I start my day by sketching.
If there was to be a fire, God forbid, and you could only grab one thing, what would that be?
It would be my sketchbooks, because these books contain years and years of ideas and concepts. And some of them I haven't brought to fruition yet, so I wouldn't like to lose all that information.
She works in stainless steel, cast aluminium and resin, but her signature is a metal that was used in Egypt as long ago as 1400 BC.
But why pewter? What is it about it that fascinates you, sir?
I just love the colour, I love the malleability of pewter, I love the fact that it's so sculptural. I also like the fact that it's such an ancient metal that has been revived. And I just like the sheen. I think it's a woman's metal because there's a softness and sensuality about it.
There is something witty and irresistibly whimsical about her figures, and that's perhaps the key to her universal appeal.
Carrol, one of the most recognizable elements of your work are, of course, the human figures.
Absolutely. I love the human body and I'm inspired most by it. In fact, I see the human figure in pretty much everything. When I look at a telephone pole, I'll see a tall, thin woman bending over. When I look at a hammer, I see a woman with a large nose and curly hair. It's just the way my mind works.
For this special commission, a trophy for the winner of the Lions Tour, she conjured up her late father's passion for the game of rugby.
What was the brief from SA Rugby?
I had to represent the countries coming together for the Lions Tour of South Africa. It also had to represent the line art, which is so uniquely part of rugby. It also represents teamwork, the teams coming together and striving to be the winner.
While injured Springbok Conrad Jantjies hasn't been able to compete in the exciting series, he figuratively jumped at the chance to see the unusual work up close.
Thinking of where we are, being South Africa and the Springboks being the world champs, we're right on top. And I don't know if you know this, but the British Lions is made up of 4 teams, England, Scotland, Wales and Ireland. And to me that symbolizes them. You know what they say about always being on top and everybody wanting to pull you down? And that's the way I see that. That's them and that's us. But at the end of the day, we always end up on top.
It was that long kick from Mornay Steyn that clinched it. Carrol's winning streak has also been fueled by her reach to countries as far-flung as Iceland and the Middle East.
You've cracked the overseas market. How?
I think by being completely naive and completely crazy. I wanted to be either in London or New York, and I decided whichever real estate I managed to secure first, that was the one that I was going to go with.
While bagel-loving New Yorkers might use her pewter toast racks for sorting letters, they admire her signature pieces. Her small but buzzing outlet in the Big Apple has helped grow her clientele.
So many people from different countries walk down Prince Street, and that spread the word, and from there it spread throughout the world.
Carrol's personal trophy is intangible. It's a universal belief in her skill that makes her work one of the most popular gifts to take home after a visit to South Africa. Her designs for 2010 are set to be the new jet-setters in the range. Behind the art lies an artist who shows her mettle in every way.